like syntax or subject-verb agreement, you know, the placement and all that. Throw all that stuff out in speech class. Really what we're looking at are what guidelines, what rules do you follow in your own personal communication with others. So the world is very orderly, we might say. Our communication is very organized and orderly because we tend to follow certain rules on how we communicate with others. Now the ones I list for you up here on the board, maxim, that's denotative, that's just like law, rule, guideline. These maxims are just sort of guidelines that we tend to follow in Western culture. By Western culture, I mean mostly here in the U.S., mostly in the U.S. In general. So things like the maximum of peaceful relations. In general, we tend to be nice to other people in our communication in most situations, right? And you think of the classes that you're in, right? If you sit next to somebody, you're like, hey, how's the week going, right? We're friendly, right? So peaceful relations. The maximum politeness. So again, the politeness, being kind. You ever been pumping gas at the station, the gas station, Kroger, wherever you get your gas, and the car pulls up on the other side of the pump, and maybe you make eye contact with the other person. You might smile, you might say hello, you might say nice day, right? That, again, there's a general sort of mood of politeness. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, social media or politics when it gets to be a presidential election year and people start throwing hate at each other and yelling and stuff. It's like, oh, yeah, what is that? You're breaking all these. But in general, these are general communication rules we tend to follow as a culture with interacting with other people. We tend to give people a benefit of the doubt. In general, we tend to do these kinds of things. The maximum of saving face. Do you know what it means to save face? Have you heard that expression, to save face? It's sort of the idea of when you save face, you don't want to look bad in front of someone else. And so the maximum of saving face is kind of helping others not look bad in everyday communication. It's to help others. So this could be where Juliana's hanging out with Luis. They're hanging out after class. Mackenzie comes up and goes, hey guys, where's the library? Do you guys know where the library is on campus? And Luis goes, oh yeah, the library, do you know where it is, by the way, Luis? Do you know where the library is? Doesn't even know, it's fine. But he might say, it's over by the art building. It's over by the art building. Now, Juliana, do you know where the library is? It's not by the art building. All right. It's right over here. It's by tech building, right? By tech. So, but instead of saying, Luis, you moron, the library is not by the art building, because that would not be helping him. To help him save face, you might say something like, the art building? And then he could go, oh, no, what I meant was the tech building. You ever see people do things like this? We help each other self-correct. We help each other find our way so we don't look bad in front. We're helping others save face. It's a beautiful guideline. Denigration, the maximum of self-denigration. Also, we see this operating very interestingly in Western culture. To denigrate means to lower, right? To put yourself lower than someone else in their presence. So to self-denigrate is Carla and Eric are coming out of math class. Let's say calculus, right? Calculus. And Carla just bombed. Triple F, the first exam, into the dumps. Sorry, don't mean to set you up for failure, Carla. It's just an example. Eric, triple A, this is so easy. This is a waste of my time. I'm a mathematical genius, okay? So Carla, they're walking out, and Carla goes, how'd you do on that exam? And Eric's like, easy peasy, made an A. And she goes, you did? I made an F. I didn't get anything right. Now, once Eric hears this information, it's time to start self-denigrating. Even though he already disclosed, I made an A. He might start saying, oh, well, I guessed at a lot of the answers. I guessed a lot. And some of the stuff on that exam, we didn't even talk about that. It's not even in the textbook. You ever see this where people who are great or they're confident or they're good at something will lower themselves in the presence of someone else to help them feel better? All through communication. These are just general guidelines. Do you follow these? Are these part of who you are? In some ways, they're Western culture ideas. Can you think of guidelines that you tend to follow? things that you were taught growing up. So think when you're small, role imitating, role taking. Go back. You really are small. What kind of rules were instilled in you, or what kind of rules